Hey, this is Randy Markham, and you're watching the Break It Down show.
Yes, indeed. Sometimes on the Break It Down show, we feature our homeboys. Sometimes on the Break It Down show, we're lucky to have some amazing artists who are doing wonderful things. Tonight is both of those things, and we are lucky to have Randy Markham's. Randy Markham's band is called Randy Markham and the Boys. So look them up on Facebook if you're not already tied in. Randy Markham and the Boys. Randy Markham. Tonight we got Randy Markham and one boy who is also homeboy, Tom Mason. Here's an interesting thing about Tom Mason. We met. Now, Tom Mason and I have, let's call them family ties that go way back to childhood. So we should have met a long, long time ago, but we met just a short, long time ago. And at that time, Randy hadn't yet drafted Tom into service to play the drums. So when Tom and I met, we were both drummers who weren't at that time working. I'm happy to say now that we both found a great home for our drumming craft. And really, I could not have imagined a better home for Tom to find. And we're going to tell you why in a minute. So I think the thing that I'd like to know first, Randy, and I'm going to ask you is, let's start at the beginning. You and Tom have a long and rich history. What tell us about it?
Well, it's kind of a crazy story, actually. I met Tom when we were 7, 8 years old, right before the second grade. And we've just been friends ever since. And we always used to dream about being in a band together over at his house, rocking out the Kiss records. And we had tennis rackets, jumping up and down off the bed and rocking it. Tom's like, I want to be a drummer. And his parents got him one of them Toys R Us drum sets. And that didn't last very long. It got demolished pretty quick.
Oh.
And then he eventually got a real drum set and actually was going to be a drummer. And then I never even started playing guitar until, I don't know, maybe my dad started trying to teach me when I was like 9. I just wasn't really into it. He taught me some honky tonk, and then again, when I was 13, he tried to give me some lessons out at Scalise Music on 23rd Street. Remember that, Tom?
Yeah, I do.
And I just wasn't really into it. When I was about 16 is when I really started playing. But you know the old Twisted Sister video, I just want to rock.
Yeah.
I just wanted to rock out, play metal, just rock out and play metal. That's my background.
Okay.
But all the years me and Tom have been friends, keeping in touch. He moved away to Benicia, and I was just bummed out. My best friend moving away, right before high school, he moved away, right? And we kept in touch.
What a time to move away.
Yeah, I mean, it really sucked. His parents just wanted to get him out of Richmond, because Richmond, California is kind of crazy when we were growing up. So
pretty much.
A long story short,
Let me just interject that
go ahead.
Richmond, California, you bring up, there are some people who watch our show who know all about Richmond, California. And just imagine Randy and that hat in Richmond, California. Please carry on.
I didn't have this hat back then. I had long hair.
Yeah.
But, we went different paths, and, we grew up and went through lives, and we had kids, and then I had my kid, and we always kept in touch, and then I always say, hey, man, have you been playing the drums? Oh, I haven't played in years. I'm like, man, you got to get a drum set again. You got to start playing again because I'm in a band now. And eventually my drummer at the time, Dave White, he was in the touring band Heathen. He's going to be going on tour. And I'm going to need you to play the drums with me, and he did. He got another electric drum set, started practicing again, started learning again. And I said, well, unfortunately, I need you to learn how to play cajon. He was like, what? Cajon? You know what I mean? So Tom started playing cajon. And when we first started getting together and playing cajon, he's like, man, this is killing me. I don't like this cajon thing, man. And he showed me a picture of this kit he's got. He goes, what do you think about this? It's like a cajon little trap kit. I said, that's pretty cool because I like it because it's different.
Right. Yeah. Well, not only is it different, but it allows Tom all of his capabilities. He's got all the chops that he honed on the drum set, and it gives you the cajon sound, but it allows Tom to do his thing.
Yeah, exactly. He's much more comfortable on that. And I said, well, why not? Let's try it. And here we are. He's been jamming on that ever since.
Also, I'm going to slow you down a second because I want to cut to Tom and get his perspective on the story. So you have this childhood friend, you have this friendship that has gone on throughout your lives. You've seen each other through thick and thin, all kinds of changes, all of the things that we go through growing up. And then you are in a place where I know that you wanted to sort of reconnect with your own musical self. And then you get this opportunity with Randy. Tell us about the start of your musical collaboration.
Well, how it came about was it was right before the pandemic started. Is the guy that was playing the drums was Dave White. He's the singer of the band Heathen, which they're internationally known. And Dave was going to go out. He's going to move to Florida and then go on tour. So what had happened is he'd call me well ahead of time. Hey, this is going to happen. You got to get yourself ready. So here I was. I'm in my garage out here and then trying to get ready. And my wife had bought me this really good cajon. And so I was going between my electric drum set and the cajon. And then when Dave finally left, we had one, I don't know if you remember that, we had that one day we played at Dave's house. And Dave gave me my first tip. Easy. He's like, easy. Don't hit him so hard.
Only the tip.
And so from that, it just got to be this learning process that they were patient enough to let me evolve and develop and get better. Because when I came in, I had never played the drums with anybody other than headphones and some music I was listening to. So I had never been in a band situation to where I had to carry the song rather as opposed to just being lazy and playing along to the song. That's a big difference. Playing with people.
Hold on. Yes, that's a big difference. This is your first band situation, Tom.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes, it is.
He used to play guitar. He played guitar before I ever played guitar.
Did you ever play guitar with people, Tom?
No.
Okay. The reason I bring this up is because the musicians who watch this show they're looking befuddled. Like, really, the first time you ever play with people? Because the thing about Randy Markham and the boys is when you go see them, they're locked in. Yeah. They're clearly musical collaborators, and the seasoning and the sound and all of that stuff that's there. It really must come all from life experience and from the richness of your friendship together that you're able to collaborate, communicate with each other on stage musically, and deliver the show that you deliver, because that's a big surprise. It's one thing to develop your chops in the woodshed by yourself. It's another thing to really be productive with somebody and a group of somebodies. But Randy, it sounds like you knew all along what Tom had in him and that he was the right guy for the job.
Well, it's something that we used to dream about when we were kids. We used to dream about it. And we thought we were really on stage, rocking out in the room with the music blasting, jumping around, acting crazy. And then here we are in our 50s, and it's like, it's time now to.
You guys are in your 50s?
For real.
Jeez. Wow. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we got to make it happen for real. I mean, we got to make it happen. I'm in a band, and I need a drummer, and Tom, you got to start playing. I said, you got to start playing now.
Right.
Get back on the roll, because I mean, his uncle used to play for Eric Clapton back in the day, and that's why Tom started playing drums in the first place anyway when he was a youngster. I don't even know how old you were back then.
Actually, Tom and I met at a Peter Frampton concert, and at the time, your Uncle Jamie was playing drums for Peter Frampton, and we just ran into each other. Tom grew up, came to Benicia in the beginning of high school, and knew my wife. We were at the show. She said, "Hey, that's Tom Mason," and of course, my response is, "Who the hell is Tom Mason?" Right. But, so then we met, and she said, "Well, what are you doing here?" And you said, "Oh, it's my uncle's playing drums for Peter Frampton." I thought, well, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So you had that example. How impactful was his example on you?
So if you go back a little bit before that, is my dad married his sister, right? And the first time I had met him, it was there. Eric Clapton was having a layover going to Japan at San Francisco at SFO.
Whose sister?
My dad. What?
Whose sister did he marry?
Carol. My dad married Carol. Oh, okay. Jamie Oldacre's sister.
There you go.
Excuse me. And so what had happened is I met him then. And then a few years later, I was playing guitar at the time. I was taking guitar lessons. I wasn't really doing that well at it. And what had happened was I went and saw this concert with it when he was playing for Eric Clapton. It was on the Slow Hand tour. It was probably 1978. And I went to this concert, and it was such a profound moment for me, so much so that I was backstage because we used to get the big treatment. Go backstage, meet the people, all this stuff. Here I am, this young kid, and I'm backstage and
meeting Eric Clapton.
And I'm meeting Eric Clapton, and somebody told me I was taking guitar lessons.
Oh boy!
And after I saw that show, I could give a rat's ass about a guitar. And so he's trying to talk to me about guitars, and I'm just like, dude, I don't even want to talk to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. My mind just got blown.
I just want to play the drums now. And so that's I don't. I mean, so my uncle Jamie has since passed away. He died of lung cancer, and actually he passed away. Him and I are both going through the same treatment of the same thing at the same time, and for some reason, I was lucky enough to live. And I wish he was here to see this, but he had made such an impact on me watching the way he played the drums. I was just a little kid, and I was watching him just do things, and I was like, wow, that's just so cool. So anyways, long story short, when I got home, I never played that guitar again. Like, I don't know what happened to that guitar. My dad could have burned it, threw it in the garage, in the garbage. I don't know. But from that day on, I can remember I bugged my parents so much for a drum set. I bugged them like bugged them bad. They get me a drum set, and I wouldn't stop playing it at all. I played that thing until they came in and told me, shut it down. And I'd wake up in the morning and they'd be like, you need to, like, you can't play until 9.
And what's crazy is I remember when all this was happening, I remember it. Him calling me on the phone. Randy, oh my God, I got a drum set. You got to come over. We're going to rock out. I mean, he's flipping out. Yeah. Like I said, that drum set did not last long.
No.
And his parents learned pretty quick, like, oh my God, why did he start playing the drums?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was brutal.
Yeah, I want to shout out your parents, because any parents who raise a drummer, that's a different level of commitment. There's certain things that you do for your kids, certain sacrifices that you make. And, on the one hand, you go, this kid is doing something, he's productive, he's creative, and he's doing something that's feeding his soul. On the other hand, it's just gotta be excruciating to have a kid who's not just a kid who's playing the drums, but a kid who's learning to play the drums.
Yeah, right.
Drummers don't make for good.
They could say, "Hey, turn that down."
Right.
How do you say, "Hey, turn the drums down"? It's just.
Listen, I like to look on the bright side.
You're doing a lot now. I'm getting told to turn the drums down a lot now by him.
If you're a parent, though, here's the good news is, if you're a parent and your kid plays the drums, you can screw in the kitchen. Because oh, wait a minute, he's stopped playing. Yeah. So,
but I never looked at it like that.
I just looking on the bright side. What I like to do is get a kid a drum set and then give him like a good long. Here's Inagata DeVita. Sit with that for a while. That'll keep him busy, and then you can do whatever you want for a while. So
I learned, I think, every Kiss song that they had out. I think at least. In my mind, from back then, I played them pretty good for being in 5th grade. I did okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, drummers don't make good neighbors if they have an acoustic drum set.
Yeah.
And so that's why I have no.
That's the other thing. Parents of drummers and neighbors of drummers.
Yeah.
God bless them all.
And for our band, it's when you're plugged in live and you're all amplified and loud, he could play the kit like a real drum set.
Right.
But when we're at rehearsal and we're doing stuff like this, he's got to really try to control the velocity of how much power he hits on each piece, because each piece is so different on it. I mean, I played it. And
that's a really interesting point.
I played this thing, trying to keep the right volume on each piece.
Right.
Not easy.
The thing that drummers always become known for, if they're really good, is to be dynamic with the band. And that's one of the subtleties for drummers that keeps you working.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're playing a cajon setup, this is way inside baseball. For the non-musicians, bear with us here. Mm-hmm. When you're playing a cajon setup, you got a really big boomy bass sound. And then oftentimes whatever you're using for a snare is tailored to the sound of the band, the room, all of that stuff. You have not just an instrument. When you think of the drum set as an instrument, but what Randy's talking about is each instrument really has a different natural volume.
That's right.
So if you're talking about like physically, you can play everything at your natural volume, but then you're playing your kick drum too loud. You're playing your hi-hat too loud. You're not playing your snare drum loud enough. So you have to really calibrate each instrument dynamically.
One cymbal's louder than this cymbal. So
yeah, absolutely.
This one a little harder, this one a little softer. It's crazy.
The other thing is, if you're into Randy Markham and the Boys, you'll know that it's a really dynamic environment. It's really expressive music, and the subtleties exist. So if you're doing something out of place, it really shows.
Yeah.
So I think what we should do is let you guys play a tune and demonstrate Tom's dynamic abilities and your lyrical creativity. Now, one thing I'd like everybody to keep in mind is that, like Randy said, when he was growing up, he just wanted to rock out. So this music that they've collaborated on together is sort of a new beginning for Randy as a songwriter. Yeah. And it's got a lot of life wisdom baked into it. So listen hard.
It's true.
Tell us about the song you're going to play, Randy.
Well, this song, good news is starting next week, we're going to start recording our new record. And my solo record is a solo thing. Well, I have a band now, so we've been trying to pick different songs, what we want to put on this record. And this song's called Keeper. And it's going to be the first one that we start the ball rolling on this recording process. We're going to start next week on it, try to get the ball rolling and try to just keep it rolling until we have a whole finished record someday. So this song's about a combination of things. It's about going fishing with my dad when I was young and going to the lake. And my dad, all dads want their young son to catch the big one, to catch the keeper, because that's the greatest thing. Oh, my boy caught this big old bass, you know what I mean? And then it turns into us on a fishing trip, and he's talking about when he met my mom and how he instantly knew she was a keeper when they met in high school. And he's hoping that I catch a keeper as well. So, I get choked up just thinking about it. But, yeah, I always I dedicate this song to my mom and dad every time we play it. I'm going to do that again right now.
Can I say something? Yeah. His folks were also really big in my life. Like his dad and his cousin Gary, they would play music in the backyard, right? And these are just everyday people in the backyard. It seemed like every day, but we were little kids, so it was probably every weekend. And I would just sit and watch these people with bewilderment, like my dad wasn't like these people, like his folks. Man. My dad was at home. I don't know what he did because I was at his house on the weekends.
Okay, we're going to pick that up. So let's play the song.
All right. Call this one Keeper. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. I remember when I was a city young boy, going fishing with my dad. On the way to the lake in our favorite fishing hole, in that old 6-foot Ford we had. He looked at me, said, "Son, it's a beautiful day, and I'm so glad that I'm with you. 'Cause there's a big fish out there with your name on it today, and I hope all your dreams come true." And there's something hit my poor heart, and I know. And he said, "Son, I hope you catch a keeper. But if you don't, please don't give up hope." He said, "Son, please stay a believer. 'Cause if you do, I know that you'll catch one. I hope you catch a keeper." Sitting on that bank, he said when he was young, the first time he ever saw my mom. He was only 17 when he fell in love. Without no doubt, he knew she was the one. If it weren't for her, son, I'd have never had you in your service. And I'm so glad that God blessed me. 'Cause I'm living proof that true love really does exist. 'Cause she's a dream come true for me. He said, son, I hope you catch a keeper. If you don't, please don't give it home. And he said, son, please stay a believer. 'Cause if you do, I know that you'll catch your word. And I hope you catch a keeper. Yeah, yeah. I hope you catch a keeper. I hope you catch a keeper.
Wow.
Stick 'em.
Very nice, man. Very nice. Okay, so yeah, that's a song that's packed with a lot of life, man.
Man, when I play that song, all kinds of different memories pop up in my head. Not just going fishing with my dad, but going fishing with Tom. We used to go fishing together a lot when we were younger. I mean, a lot. We mostly freshwater. Sometimes his dad would take us to the pier and catching fish off the pier. And I mean, we did a lot of fishing. I wish we still did as much as we used to. But I mean, he still goes fishing a lot more than I do. But, yeah, we had a lot of good times, man. A lot of fun. And we caught a lot of keepers too, but we just threw them back.
Did a lot of throwing them back, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Tom, I kind of cut you off because you started to tell a story. I wanted not to miss the story because it gives depth to what we just heard. But I wanted to jump straight to the song because I felt like everybody needed to hear the song, and that would mean what it meant to you because clearly you were talking about your formative years and what Randy's family meant to you.
Everything. Really, to be honest, yeah, they're just, you don't really, like they're always really cool to me. They treated me like I was their kid. There was between, I don't want to sound dismissive of my parents and their efforts for me, but Randy's folks, when I'd go over there, man, I was at home. I was at home. And then what a true testament of them is that after we moved to Benicia, I wasn't there that much as much as I used to be. I mean, we still go and it'd still be the same. But as I got to see over the years, so many young people in Randy's life felt the exact same way about his parents as I did. And they were truly, truly incredible people. Incredible people. Yeah.
Yeah, my parents, I was definitely blessed with some awesome parents.
Yeah.
They treated a lot of my friends like their own kids.
Yeah.
A lot of times after the weekend was over and they got to go back home, it's like they don't want to go back home. If we had a bigger house, my mom and dad probably just said, "Oh, just move on in," you know. But, yeah. It's kind of crazy.
They were definitely good people. Did a lot for me.
Yeah.
I mean, really, they did a lot for me. Not basketball, baseball. They got me signed up for baseball. They did a lot of things that my folks didn't do, and it's only because my folks are older and they had their own priorities that didn't, for whatever reason. Yeah.
What was cool is when we go on vacation and stuff, we'd always take Tom with us. My sister would take one of her best friends with us. But when they went on vacation, they would take us with them too. His parents took us to Palm Springs a couple times. They did some really cool things for us. It was cool.
That's terrific. So the fact that you guys had that kind of history, you guys, you grew up together, you learned all the life lessons together, you had the fun times together, and now as musical collaborators, What do you think that lends to the effort in the band?
Hmm.
Let's start with you, Randy.
You're talking about just with our history together as friends,
Yeah.
in the band. Well, I think I've been in a lot of bands, and I've been with some of the greatest players.
Yeah,
I
you've
mean,
played with some
really
fantastic
good players.
pedigreed players.
And like when I first called Tom, he's like, "Oh man, I haven't been playing." You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
like, "I don't care." Tom had to be in the band,
Right.
you know what I mean? And luckily, our bass player Glenn, we met Glenn in the 6th grade, right?
Yeah.
We met Glenn in the 6th grade, and Glenn is phenomenal, awesome.
Yeah.
And he feels the same way about Tom because he's known Tom since the 6th grade. So we both, me and Glenn, were already in the band before we got Tom. And I already was talking to Glenn. Glenn's like, "Yeah." I said, "It's going to be a lot of work. We got to just keep on him and just keep it going, and it'll eventually happen." And Glenn was like, "You know what? You're right. Yep, we got to get Tom." And just music aside, it's just when we get together and we start playing music and just hanging out because we're buddies and talking, it's just, it feels so good. You know, it's more than just being in a band because we're friends. A lot of guys that are in bands, they're friends in the band, but if the band was a breakup, they never talk to each other again, you know, or they never talk to each other outside of band practice, or they don't go hang out other than on stage or at band practice, you know.
Right.
Well, I wanted this band to be different. I want to hang out when we're not playing music. You know, I don't always want to have a guitar in my hand when I'm hanging out with Tom or Glenn, and Doug came and jammed with us and played his first live show with us a few weeks back, and another member, Alvin Petty. We hardly ever get to see him because he's an awesome, talented artist. He's got a lot of other things going on. He's our banjo guy. He's our mando guy, and I've known him since I was like 20, 21. Yeah. So when we get together, it's a lot of history as being friends for years and years and years, way before this band ever came along.
Yeah, do me a favor and really quickly just go through the band lineup. Starting with, you got Tom on the drums.
I got Tom on the drums. I got Glenn Stevenson on bass. We call him G-Funk, and he's got a bunch of other AKAs. And Tom Mason on drums, his AK, we call him Clever Lang because he's banging on it too hard sometimes. And then we got Alvin Petty on the banjo and mando. And that is the main core of the band. But we hardly ever get to play with Alvin because he's so busy. He's a very established artist and he's got a lot of stuff going on. But when we do, it's like we got Alvin tonight or on stage, you know. And then we've only been jamming a little bit with Doug for, I don't know, 3-4 months or whatever. We've only played one show with Doug. So we're still in a whole long process of, because we haven't had a lead guitar player for a long time. It's just me on acoustic, drums, mandolin, and banjo, and bass. No lead guitar, no pedal steel, no fiddle, no violin, nothing, just us. So we're always open-minded to, when I started this band, I wanted the whole big picture to be not just these guys in the band. I want it to be options always, possibilities of special guests. Just because you see this one person play live with us tonight, he might not be with us at the next one. Maybe he will a couple after that. Who knows? I like special guest appearances of singers coming up on stage to sing songs with us, to get up and play their instruments with us. I want each and every show to be a little bit different than every time it's the same thing, the same guys playing the same songs. I want to play different songs, and I want to showcase special guests. And so far, we've been pretty good at doing that so far.
You know, I really like that approach because I know what's going to happen to you guys in terms of your listener base. They're going to come back for more. And when you give them a variety, you know, you may even play a couple of gigs in a row at a place, you know, maybe play 3 times there that month. And to be able to come and see you and get a slightly different show each time, to get a different kind of, you know, different kind of sound because you got a different player who comes in and injects their personality. And for you to be able to welcome a new sound in like that, that's a lot of fun, man. And
I love it. It's risky, but it's fun. I like that risky because sometimes you don't get to rehearse with that person.
It's the right kind of risk.
And I like to rehearse. All my friends know I like to rehearse, but sometimes everyone's so busy in our lives. We've got so much stuff going on. You can't get that time to rehearse, or you can't rehearse enough to get that song ready to play live in front of people. But you just go for it and capture that moment in its, you know, essence of when it happens. And it's, even if they don't play the whole set, if they just get to play one song or two, it's that special moment that people are like, oh, who's he inviting up on stage now? What's going on here? And we might, because my background's all heavy metal and hard rock stuff. Yeah. So when I first did this solo record, I wanted to flip the script and trip everyone out, that all my peers, all my friends, all my fans, I wanted them to show I've always loved all kinds of different kinds of music. My favorite was heavy stuff, of course, but I've always loved country and I've always loved blues. I've always loved all kinds of different things. So I wanted to, and I wasn't in a band at that time. So I started on a solo project, and I just got different players on different songs to come in. So when you get my record, it's not all the same guys playing on all the songs. It's different lead guitar players on different songs, different bass players, different singers. It was so fun. I thought, wow, that was really fun. And all of a sudden I didn't know that it was going to catch on. And then I had to get a band together because I started getting phone calls to play live gigs. Yeah. I got a phone call to open up for Charlie Daniels at the Uptown Theater in 2018. I didn't even have a band.
Wow.
I was like, oh,
you got work to do.
We don't know if we want you in a band. We kind of want you by yourself, or maybe a cajon player, or for a backup singer and some cajon or whatever. But I called up Rocky on the cajon, and he's a great backup vocal singer. And I talked to him and let me get a lead guitar player, my friend Spanky Deluxe. He got up there and played. And then from there, I needed to get a band, more of a permanent band with special guest kind of things going on. So ever since 2018, it's really just been nonstop, just going. But we're way overdue to record a new record. And COVID hit, and we had plans to record a video for Straight Shot of You. And COVID came and just messed up all my plans for that. And we're still going to do it, but that was 2 years ago now. We're just like pushed back 2 years behind now. And now I got to get this new record going. So, everyone's life's so busy and crazy. You just got to roll with it, bob and weave and try to make it when you can happen, but it's not going to happen unless you make it happen. You have to make it happen.
So if everybody is listening, you hear that Randy's working on a new record. He's working on a record with the band. So this is a collaboration record. Tom, tell us about the collaborating process now that you're in a band, man.
So like it's the whole music writing process. Like, well, first of all, for me, a lot of the stuff that Randy's singing about, I was a part of as a kid or witnessed. We have a song called Hound Dog, which talks about his dad, how his dad used to get ready for hunting. I'll get back to it. But his dad used to leave either his fishing poles or his guns by the front door for like 2 weeks, right? And it would drive his mom nuts, right? And I just remember all this stuff. So I'm invested in whatever he brings to the table, because a lot of times he's talking about stuff that as a kid I remember. And so now the whole writing process or the creation process maybe is, Randy will come to us or me or music us on Monday practice. Hey guys, check this out. He'll start playing something and he'll have some words for it. Sometimes maybe not everything, maybe not the melody. He'll have the hook or some certain parts. Sometimes he's got almost all of it ready to go. And then we just start building on it. And sometimes it starts with a small little riff or a ditty as Alvin would call it. And we just start building on it. And it's actually a really cool process because we're actually creating something from nothing. And by the time we're moving on with it, playing it live, and people are singing along to the chorus, people in the crowd, to stuff that his lyrics that he came up with. And he's a phenomenal storyteller. I got it. And that's one of my favorite kind of lyricists is people who tell stories that are relatable, things that you can think about, and then maybe draw your own correlations with it. He does that really well. And for me, it's kind of cool because he lets me he trusts me to come up with something within the realm of the song, what's going to serve the song. And it's like, I went from never doing this to now I'm writing music, and it's being okay with him and the other guys. So that's a really cool thing for me, is the whole writing process is, okay, here's a song I'm starting to work on. guys listen to the riff, and then we just kind of, it's like it grows like a plant. Would you say, Randy?
Yeah.
It's like we start this little thing, we start building, growing, doing this and that, maybe tune this, whatever. Next thing you know, we've got this whole song that's ready to go. And it's just a really cool experience for me.
What I like a lot about the process is Tom is so hungry. It's his first band. You remember what it was like when we were a teenager and we got in our first band? You're so hungry, you're ready to practice every day if you could. You know what I mean? You just can't wait to write the next song. He's so hungry. And in turn, it's re-sparked fire within me and Glenn, because me and Glenn have been in bands for so long now. Bands that have broken up. When the band breaks up, it's a broken heart. That's a relationship that didn't last, or it did. And then when it broke up, it's heartbreaking. I mean, it's hard to make a band, to put one together, and it's even harder to keep it together. So when you get somebody like Tom in the band, even though he's a beginner, it didn't matter, because he's so hungry. And so he'd call me on the phone. Hey, Randy, I thought of this new drum beat on that new song that you played yesterday. What do you think if I did this? Or what do you think if I did that? I said, well, we'll have to try it out, bro. You know, we'll troubleshoot it.
Yeah.
So he'll go, do you like if I do it like this on that part before we go to the chorus? Or do you like if I do it like this on that part? I go, I don't know. Let's try both. So a lot of times at practice, we just start just smashing through all these different ideas and trying different things. And when we hear something that's good, the hard part is don't forget that. That is what you need to play. Don't forget that. Somebody hit record, grab the phone.
Because we're old.
You know what I mean? It's really fun. And what I like a lot about this band, John, is we're all clowns. I mean, we joke around so much. We joke and play and clown so much. Sometimes almost too much. It takes us away from being serious. And I want to be a kind of band that's serious, but we can clown around and laugh and have fun too. But I don't want to be a bunch of ass clowns up there on stage. I want to be recognized as, damn, these guys are writing some really good songs, but damn, that last song was funny as hell. You know what I mean? I like both worlds. Yeah. Funny songs, kind of clown a little bit. And then you got your serious songs too. You got your down, mellow songs, and you got your upbeat, rocking out songs. You know, I like to have a little combination of stuff, because people, I figure I know what's like when I'm in the crowd seeing a band on stage that I really, really like. I want action. I want action. When I'm in the crowd watching, I want to see guys going crazy on the stage, or laughing, or I don't know, rocking out to the music and faces or whatever, because some people are just like mummies. They're just so trying to play everything perfect, they don't even move. Damn, they sure do play good. Yeah, but it's not much fun to watch.
Not much fun to watch.
You know, I like drummers that are crazy, spinning the sticks and rocking out, and guitar players that are doing stuff behind their head, and you know what I mean, like Brian Keogh on guitar. I mean, he used to really be crazy back in the day.
Yeah.
But I've been telling Tom, all right, Tom, I'll start spinning them sticks and show off a little bit, do something crazy. He's like, Rand, I'm like, yeah, come on, you can do it, Bubba. I can. Yeah, but we have fun doing it. This band is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Is what it is. Yeah.
Well, it comes through in the performances, man. It's a good time. You guys are a rolling good time. Even when you're singing songs that are steeped in sentiment, you know, that message comes across too, but it doesn't take away from the good time. So do you guys want to play another song?
Sure.
All right. Tell us about it.
We could play one. We're going to call this one A Straight Shot of You. It's off the record. It could be about drinking, but it's about when you meet that special person that there's no shot or no drink, no whiskey, no beer, nothing can compare to just being on the dance floor with that person or that kiss. You know what I mean? So that's basically what it's about. It's called Straight Shot of You. Ready, Tom? Let's do it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 1. A drinking shots of that whiskey that don't make the pain go away. A drinking shots of that Jaeger that don't make things any better. No, no. Round after round, just throwing them down. The Tito's and Quail, James Dixon and the Makers and the Walker. Oh, there's just one thing that's on my brain, and it's the only thing that makes the pain go away. That's a straight shot of you dancing across the room. Straight shot of your smile. But darling, you know how it drives me wild. Oh, there's just one thing that I must say, and it's the only thing that makes the pain go away. And that's a straight shot of you. Well, who's gonna drink some shots of me tonight, boys? Drinking shots of that tequila surely won't heal you. Taking swigs of that moonshine surely won't fix your mind. Oh, there's just one thing that's on my brain, and it's the only thing that makes the pain go away. And that's a straight shot of you dancing across the room. A straight shot of your smile. But darling, you know how it drives me wild. Oh, there's just one thing that I must say, and it's the only thing that makes the pain go away. Yeah, baby. And that's a straight shot of you. Oh, play it, Tom. Shot of you. Only thing the words. That's a straight shot of you. That's what I'm talking all the way about. And that's a straight shot of you. Straight shot. And that's a straight shot of you.
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, man. I should have drank a shot before that one.
That's a love song for a bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, the places where you guys play, that just plays right into the good time because you can look at your lady, the bar selling some drinks.
Hey, sometimes you see that one couple out there,
Yeah,
can't stop looking at each other's eyes, and you're
yeah,
like, "Uh-oh,
man,
what's going on?"
You know what's
there?
happening. You know what's happening.
And they don't even know each other's
They
names.
just met each other.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Looks like
Tonight's
trouble.
the night. Tonight's the night. There is no feeling better than that. I mean, you know, so you went through your lineup. You mentioned some fly-by-night guitar player you just brought in for one show. Yeah, you got to watch out for that guy. He's just going to drop in,
forgot his
play one
name.
show.
What
Yeah,
was
his
it?
name
No.
is Doug Marcos.
Oh, yeah. Doug Marcus. That's right.
Doug and I have known each other for many, many years, and we play in a regular band together. Uncommonwealth is our home band, and he guests with you. And for one thing, I will say that he loves it. He comes back talking about it every time. And
We went and seen you guys play, man. That was fun.
I'm
What was
glad
that
you like
place
it.
in Benicia?
Lucas.
Lucas.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I've seen you guys play.
Well, there's probably some Benicia viewers. So if you guys like Lucas,
Yeah.
or if you don't like Lucas, come down anywhere.
Oh,
we're
Lucas
playing
is
on
cool.
we're playing on the 6th, which is a Sunday, and you can come see Doug Marcos play. But
And what's the name of your band?
Uncommonwealth
Uncommonwealth.
is our band. British rock, all of the British invasions, every
That's
one of them.
right. I met Andy. He was pretty good at your guys' place at the warehouse.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
pretty cool.
He's
Yeah.
British as it comes. He's on a trip across the pond right now, and he'll be back this weekend. But getting back to Doug,
Tom called me up and said, "Hey, Randy, we need a lead guitar player, man. I know this guy Doug. I just saw him play in this band, your guys' band at
Yeah.
Lucas. He might fit right in with this." I was like, "Well, if he wants to come jam with us, have him come jam with us." And he's got the great personality, and he comes through and just hangs out with us. And for the first show, I thought he did pretty damn good because we haven't got a lot of rehearsals in, and it takes a lot of rehearsals to learn the other players and to kind of morph together. You know what I mean? So it's still a process that we're going through.
Sure.
And it's and I knew he was kind of nervous. He said he wasn't, but I could tell. I was like, "You sure you don't want a shot of this Tito's?" He's like, "No, bro. No, bro. I'm good." I was like, "No, bro." Right. But you did pretty good, Doug. You did pretty good. Brother.
You guys drink Tito's at rehearsal?
No.
I was
not anymore.
I was going to ask if you needed a percussionist. Anyway.
Hey. Wait a minute. So there is a story about the Tito's at. I'll let him tell you. They needed a percussionist that night.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Tom don't drink Tito's.
Yeah.
He's mainly a champagne, wine, margarita kind of guy, right?
Right.
Well, a couple weeks ago, he said, "Ram, what's that drink you normally drink?" I said, "Tito's and tonic with a lime." I said, just like that too. Yeah. And he goes, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna have one of those." I said, "Are you okay, bro? Let me check your temperature." I put my hand on his forehead. I was like, "Oh boy, this ain't no champagne, Bubba. This ain't no margarita."
Yeah.
All alcohols are different, right?
Right.
Well, his system don't like
Get ready.
Tito's.
Oh.
He went down. He went crashed and burned hard.
Wow.
You get a ride home.
Yeah.
You're like Jermaine. Yeah. Don't like Tito.
Yeah. I'm more like Michael. Easy shit.
Yeah, it was funny, but not funny. That's what Tom says. Yeah, it was funny, but it wasn't funny.
Yeah, it was
funny.
Okay.
Makes for a good story, but at the time.
But the lesson in there having to do with Doug is that Doug came in, he gelled with you guys personality wise because you like to have a good time. Yeah. Not to take anything away from Doug, but it's kind of would be difficult for somebody to not come into that environment and like it, so there's that. Yeah. But again, getting back to Doug, he does his homework, and when you give him some tunes to learn, he's going to go learn them, and he's going to allow for the good time. So I'm just giving this out for the young players who are watching in viewer land out there. You got to do your homework.
Yeah.
It's nice to say, yeah, we always have a good time, but you're allowed to have a good time because everybody allows the good time by doing what they're supposed to do, taking their responsibility to the music seriously so that you can have that fun.
I agree. It's like some players are so good. They've been doing it so long and they're so good, or they were naturally born at it, which I've seen it happen. Some people are just naturally born better players than guys that have been playing a lot longer than them. Just, I don't know what it is. It just happens.
Yeah.
And sometimes what I think is the worst is the guys that think they're so good, they don't need to rehearse. Mm-hmm. Oh, I got this in the bag. That's a piece of cake. So then they show up live at the show or at rehearsal and they haven't even touched it. And they try to just make all the magic happen in a short, real quick period of time. I can't stand that. I like it when the guys are good and they know they're good, but they also know that they have to put some work in. Mm-hmm. I mean, listen to their CD and play along to it a couple of times. When you come to practice, be ready to go. Yeah. And after a few practices, don't keep saying, "How's that chord go again?" Or what was that chord again on that song? Or what was that over and over and over and over? It's like we need to make forward momentum. Yeah.
For sure.
All players are different. everyone's different. That's why it's so hard to get a band together. You know, it's I'm just so happy we got this band, you know. And like Tom, when we first started trying to get Tom, he hasn't played drums in so long. He's like, but you know, so many drummers, and I'm like, yeah, but we want you, and I don't care if what do you call him, Danny Carey from Tool or whatever?
Yeah. All right.
I don't care if he wanted to be in the band. I don't want him. I want Tom. I want a good close friend in the band to play music with. I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, life's short. You got to enjoy it, you know?
Yeah.
And how long are you on stage at a gig? It goes by so fast. You were just setting up your rig and your gear on stage. The next thing you know, you're breaking it down.
Right.
Whoa, how long did we play? Man, it's already over. I can't wait to do it again.
Flew by if it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's all
fun.
about, man.
Yeah.
And if you touch somebody in that crowd with one of your songs, even if it's a cover
Sure.
or original, it doesn't matter. If you touch that person in a good way, somehow they've never seen your band play before, or maybe they did, but that one night, that one song made them just go, oh my God, you made me think of when I was a kid, or you made me think of my ex in a good way, or that one trip to wherever, or something that happened in their lives. If they could relate to your songs, that is the payoff for me. It's not about what the band's getting paid at the end of the night. Of course, it's great to get paid lots of money when you play music, but if one person comes up and tells you how awesome they thought your band was, or how, let's say, how awesome of a drummer you were. Oh my God, you're so good at the drums. Do you give lessons or whatever? You know what I mean? You're just like, wow, that's for me. That's what it's all about. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. That and Sharpie signing breasts.
Yep.
Like doing that
Yeah.
too.
You gotta shine some breasts.
I signed my own.
Yeah.
That's the only ones I've signed is my own.
Do you guys have one more song you can play us?
We sure do.
All right.
We sure do.
Tell us about it.
Oh man, this is well, speaking of straight shot of you and drinking and Tito's and all that stuff. We are a party band. Basically, I mean, we can't get away from that. We're a party band. So if you had a bad day, or if you got some stuff going on in your life that's really got you down, you come to one of our Randy Markham shows and you are going to have fun. You're not going to want to fight somebody because you're having a bad day. You're going to want to make friends with somebody, or maybe you might meet somebody and go home and get lucky that night. Who knows? You know what I mean? But it all revolves around music, friends, family, and just, you know, when you go to a bar or a club, you know, most people are drinking, some people don't, and that's great, because I just want everybody to get home safe. Get an Uber or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Don't drink and drive or whatever. But I was going to bed. This is probably a couple of years ago now. I was going to go to bed and the TV's on, and that Mountain Vista Farms commercial came on. And I was like, what? I've seen it before, you know? And I was just watching the ranch, and, you know, 8-acre ranch, and it looks all badass. I was like, man, I've always wanted to be on it. I've always wanted to own an 8-acre ranch. You know, that'd been awesome. So I think I'm going to have to start drinking more so I can go to Mountain Vista Farms and shit and hang out there for a while. But then I found out how much it costs to get there. So I'm probably not going to make that trip. But anyways, so I jumped up out of bed and I grabbed my guitar, and Mountain Vista Farms just popped out of nowhere, just from the commercial, you know. And Tom goes, I know one of those guys in the commercial, you know.
Officer Dalby from Benicia.
So anyways, we call this a Mountain Vista Farms. It's a funny song. We try to joke around, but I know it's a serious subject. I know, you know, it's very sketchy or scary when you joke around about serious subjects, you know, especially in the time of the world that we live in. Everyone's so sensitive, and if you say the wrong thing, you're offending everybody and all this stuff. And that's really bad for me, because I say shit sometimes without thinking it before I say it. And I'm not trying to get myself in a bind or get anybody pissed off at me. I just want to make people laugh. Well, every comedian knows what it's like. Your joke made millions laugh, but there's probably another million that didn't laugh. You know what I mean? So that's just where we live in. So Mountain Vista Farms, and we'll go something like this. You ready, Tom?
Yeah.
You ready, Freddie? Here we go. Oh, Mountain Vista Farms is a place where I want to live, 'cause I've been drinking so many bottles, partying with my friends. Oh, Mountain Vista Farms, saw it last night on my TV. Mountain Vista Farms just might be the place for me. Well, I've been drinking for a long, long time. I've been partying way too hard, about to lose my mind. Oh,
Mountain Vista Farm.
have to stop by and check it out.
Mountain Vista Farm.
Just might be my new house. Always wanted one of those 8-acre ranches. That place is nice. Mountain Vista Farms, give me back my tickets. My self-respect. And me and my friends drank a whole lot of shots. That's right. Yeah, we like to party hard. Yeah, we party live. Oh, Mountain Vista Farm. Have to stop by, take a quick look, see. Mountain Vista Farm just might be the place for me. So Mountain Vista Farm just might be the place for me. So Mountain Vista Farm just might be the place for me. Yeah, that was out on the Richard Rock and Gun Club friends out there. Stick on! Oh, stick on! Anyways, that's Mountain Vista Farm. So when I played that song at practice, the following practice, I said, you guys, I got something you guys might like. I don't know, you might think it's stupid. I don't know. Here we go. I started playing it, and the look on Glenn's face was like, are you kidding me right now, bro? Oh my God, I love it. And Tom was like, oh man, I got to get used to playing these country beats. You know what I mean? Because we're rockers. And we love rock and roll so much, but switching the program, like as much as we love metal and hard rock, it's like we love country too, but it's a whole different way of playing, a whole different way of writing, a different style of singing. Oh man, like you said earlier, it's a whole flip script of what I'm used to, and it's like a new beginning for me in this. I don't even know what the genre is called. Alvin calls it cactus rock, and some Brian Keel calls it Americana. You know, and I'm just like,
that's what it is.
I don't know what it is, you know. And you guys said maybe California Bluegrass or something like that. Well, there's a couple of songs we got are some bluegrass. And Alvin came to practice playing some licks on his banjo. We played a song called The Chase about running moonshine, running from the sheriffs and stuff. And that's pretty much bluegrass, Billy and Hound Dog and stuff like that. But Mount Vista Farms for you, John.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, tonight's show's been all about Randy Markham and the boys. You can find them on their Facebook page. Look up Randy Markham and the boys. Look up Randy Markham on Facebook. Look up Tom Mason. Look up Doug Marcos. If you find a show near you, go to the show. Bring a little bit of money. You're going to want to spend some money on your lady at the bar, and you're going to have a great time. That's one thing I will say is that you will be moved. You will feel the emotion of the songs. You'll have a good time.
We just got new hats. You got one on.
It doesn't get better than that. Buy merch. Support your local artists, especially Randy and the boys. By going to local shows. Support live music.
And I'm online too. iTunes, Spotify, everything, all that stuff. It's all on there.
And look forward to the new record. Now they're working on the new record now. You guys are you planning a release date, or are you so deep in the recording process you're not thinking about that yet?
We're just starting it next week. So it may be a year before we're done. Who knows? I don't really know how fast it's going to go. Okay. It's going to be Tom's first time recording. It's going to be Alvin's first time really recording.
Where are you doing it?
We're doing it at my good friend Randy Root's house. That's where I recorded the first record at Fallen Manor, Crestfallen Manor, that is. He's the engineer, the producer, also a musician that's played on that record. So we clicked very well. I've known him since I was 20, 21 years old. And actually, I met him. He recorded my first heavy metal cassette tape back when I was in a band called Tungsten, baby. It was heavy, and that's how I met him. He was my neighbor, and then we reunited probably, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or something. He moved away, and I never seen him again. And now I'm glad that we reunited. And so I've had a lot of different offers to record in different places, but I feel comfortable working with Randy. I think he's a great musician and a producer and a good friend. So I feel comfortable there. So we're going to do it there.
Yeah, you got to watch out for those guys named Randy. Randy Markham and the boys.
Yep.
Look them up. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Pete. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Hit it.
When I woke up this morning, I was still drunk with the hot brunette lying next to me. I forgot what her name was. Head was still pounding, I was red as hell. So I reached for the bottle and took a real yell and blamed it on Tito. A lot of my friends like to smoke heroin. Sometimes I get so damn high, they'll give me their cocaine. And even though I can't see all the good, I'll take John's car and drive it real good. Huh, John? Yeah. Yeah. And play his drum set too. Are we off? Right on, you guys.